Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome back to another episode of Rewire to Inspire. The show where we'll dive into self-love, learn tangible ways to rewire the brain, and discovering your soul's purpose. The goal of Rewire to Inspire is to encourage listeners to begin doing the hard work, to get curious and open to maximizing your life. Our mindset shapes how we live. Depending on life events, traumas, and personal experiences, our mindsets are all vastly different. However, one thing we all have in common is the ability to rewire our mind, to change the narrative, and to pivot our lives. I hope you leave each episode with the belief that you are so worthy to live a life true to you. I look forward to chatting with you every single Tuesday and Thursday and helping you grow exponentially in all areas of your life. Without further ado, here's today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome back to my podcast, Rewire to Inspire. I am so excited to be jumping on the microphone with you all for episode number 118. Today, we are going to be talking about why it's so important. Sorry, I had to move in my chair. Why it's so important to not allow the wrong people to guide you. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a quicker one. I recognize the last couple of my episodes were a little bit longer, so I'm hoping to just be able to provide some powerful content nonetheless, but in a shorter amount of time. For today, though, this is a topic that I do genuinely want you to really absorb and really sit with. And regardless if you have had a coach before, if you've had a mentor, if you have had a counselor, if you have had a friend, a family member, whoever guide you in your life, it is so important that we make sure that people are guiding us accurately. And we need to make sure that we are taking advice and we are following suit with people that are in alignment and that are best suited for us. I've had mentors in the past, and somebody that I considered to be a good friend that was guiding me in the business that I was doing. This person, in hindsight, and again, anonymous always, this person very much veered me away from my true self, because in a lot of ways, they were manipulating me to act, respond, work, think, do, whatever, in the ways that they were operating without getting to know me uniquely. And this came at a detriment because obviously that wasn't sustainable, because eventually over time, as I started to grow and my self-awareness grew, I began to recognize that this person wasn't guiding me optimally. This person wasn't giving me the best advice for me. They were giving me the advice that they would give self, or the advice to me that would best suit themselves. So in a lot of ways, it was a very selfish approach to mentoring me and to persuading me. And so again, this is going to look different to all of us, but my goal at the end of this episode is for you to begin to recognize if the people in your life that you are seeking advice from, that are guiding you, that are mentoring you, that are whatever, are veering you in a way that is optimal. And even me as a coach, I need to make sure, and it is my due diligence to make sure that I am guiding my clients in a way that is in the scope of my practice, something that I am able to practice what I preach, something that is in alignment. And I need to be able to know my clients more than they know themselves, so I can give the best approaches to them. I can help guide them accurately. And I am also always open to feedback. So if something is not working, I'm able to take that feedback and to pivot. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in life that aren't going to be open to that feedback, think that it is their way or the highway. There's only one approach to doing something. And so the reason that I have this comparison now is because my coach now, who is Alan Lazarus from Next Level University, he has been my coach for almost a year now and has absolutely transformed my life. He has helped me do a 180 in a lot of ways of who I surround myself with, how I talk to myself, what my goals are, how I'm going to achieve my goals, undoing fixed mindsets that I've held, allowing me to think differently, giving me accurate awarenesses, giving me accurate perceptions of self, unblocking truths that I didn't realize, and just helping guide me to the way that is most optimal to my unique life. And so the reason that one is able to give me accuracy is because there's no ego, there's no comparison, there's no devalue to them if they help me. Whereas with this other mentor I had, me growing was actually a kryptonite to them. They didn't really want to see me win in hindsight, but I didn't realize that when I was in that environment, because I just thought that everybody was ahead of me, everybody knew more than me. And so I was very much a obliger in a way that I would just listen to anything anybody older than me really would share with me. I always thought was accurate. And so I need you listening to begin to, with permission, if you're open to be willing to contemplate for yourself, are you allowing just anybody to give you advice? Do you just listen to a TikTok and you're like, yep, that's the right thing to do? Do you read one book and think, yep, the book said it, so that's what I have to do? We have to be willing to get curious, to think for ourselves, and begin to look at our coaches and mentors in a way of really beginning to recognize if they actually have your truest good at the other end of that and at their expense. Are they accurate enough to be guiding you? That is the question that we need to articulate for ourselves. With Alan now, with my coach now, the thing is everything he preaches to me, it's because he has experience in it, he has awareness in it, or he has knowledge in it. And if he did not have those three things, he would not be the best coach for me. The reason that I think he's been more impactful for me, as I mentioned, is because that comparison piece doesn't exist. This is the same, when we go see a therapist, there should be that space should be about you. And when you are seeking guidance from somebody, specifically a mentor or a coach, the focus needs to be on you. We can share from a coaching perspective, sometimes I'll share personal stories, but in a way that's going to make it land for my clients with their life. Not allowing the wrong people to guide you is going to make or break you. Because this is the thing, is when we think we're only worthy of having certain people around us, those are the people we'll often keep around us, often out of fear. Because when I left that relationship with that mentor or that friend or that person that was steering me wrong, that took a lot of courage and time to finally admit to myself that it wasn't serving me. And I knew it wasn't serving me because my body felt weird around them. I intuitively felt like something was wrong. I felt disrespected by them. And so genuinely, we know at the core when somebody is misguiding us, but we have to be willing to also know the signs of when somebody is optimizing to help us grow for our own unique reasons, right? And so we have to be willing to match our worth with the people that we surround ourselves with, and identify that if our worth is lower, we are often surrounding ourselves with people that prove that right to us. It wasn't until I stepped away from that other mentor that I was able to attract Alan in that coaching program into my life. And the thing is I had to choose me. I had to choose what I knew I was worthy of. And I knew that other coach wasn't giving me what I was worthy of. But the thing is this kind of applies to all areas of our life. This applies to relationships, to friendships, really to anything. We have to be willing to acknowledge, are the people around me actually wanting what's best for me? And that starts with you beginning to identify what is best for you first. Again, you will intuitively know if something's not right for you, if it is a job, if it is a passion, if it's a goal, whatever, insert thing here. We often already intuitively know when something isn't best for us. But we have to be willing to go one step further and say, how is this affecting my future? How is this leading into the person that I want to become? So many of us just go to our parents because we think that they have all the answers to everything. I love my parents dearly, but they genuinely don't understand a lot of the things that I'm playing for right now simply because they haven't experienced it. There's other areas, mechanics, for example. If I have a question about mechanics, of course I'm going to go to my dad because he has studied that and practiced that his whole life. If I have a question about dental hygiene, I am going to go to my mom. Why? Because she studied that. That is not my area. But if they try to talk to me and guide me about podcasting, it's not going to be optimal, and it's just going to be basically their opinion, not accurate results. Do you see how there's a difference? I know that I didn't really have that discrepancy for so long because, again, I felt like everybody was ahead of me, so anybody's advice I allowed in. We need to protect our energy. We need to protect who we allow to guide us. The reason that I'm sharing all this with you guys is because now that I'm in the corner of somebody who genuinely wants what's best for me and is able to guide me properly and accurately, I'm seeing the contrast between the two types of mentors that I've had. And if I've experienced this, it's likely that somebody else out there has experienced this feeling of feeling like the wrong people are guiding you. The first thing that we can do is to scan the people around us, notice who those people are, and identify them. Identify which role they play in our life. Are they there to help us grow? Are they there as like our fun friend? Are they there as support? What is that person doing for your life? The person that you look up to most, that is guiding you the most, I need you to ask yourself, are they guiding me optimally for the life that I'm having now? Were they most accurate for my past life and, time that has passed? Are they the best for my future? We have to be willing to self-assess for ourselves. And I wrote down, a couple of things that I think could be beneficial when looking for the proper cues, I guess, of if somebody is a good guide or a mentor or a good coach or a good person to learn from. And the first thing was recognize if they embody what they preach. If somebody was coming to me about personal development and I had never read a book or studied personal development, I'm likely just pulling stuff out of the yin yang. I'm just bull crapping this person in a way to let them hear what they want to hear. Recognizing if somebody's practicing what they're preaching, you will know by subtly asking questions and by seeing what they're like, behind the scenes if you have the chance to do so. But the first thing that we can really do is begin to recognize if that person is embodying what they're telling you. And we will often know that intuitively. And so that's something that we really have to self-assess for ourselves. The second thing, your gut tells you that they genuinely want you to win. If you are seeking advice from someone that subconsciously does not want to see you win, they will never give you accurate data, suggestions, or what's the right word I'm trying to think of? They will never be able to give you accurate advice or guidance if they subconsciously don't want to see you win. So we need to make sure that we are getting around people that actually want what's best for us, that are cheering us on. We can feel that in our gut when someone actually wants what's best for us and when they don't. I can tell you right now, a handful of people that once I started to grow, they closed the door so quick. And I realized, and it took me a long time to admit that, but they don't actually want to see me win. They don't actually want what's best for me. Because if they did, they would be here to support me and guide me along that, not, feel envious of me. The next thing that we need to do is we need to get clear on the type of guide, coach, mentor, whatever it is that you want. You need to get clear on what that is going to look like for you. Do you want someone to completely lay out your goals for you? Again, nobody can do that for you. Do you want somebody who is going to give you hard truths? Do you want somebody who is going to bounce you back and, kind of check you a little bit when you're veering off course? Identify the type of mentors, coaches, guides that you want to have in your life. And that's going to be unique to each person depending what your goals are. But we need to identify for ourselves uniquely what type of person we want to be guiding us in our life and what that is going to look like for us. The next thing is, are they enthusiastic and excited to share with you? This was a huge one for me because I know energetically if somebody is not matching my energy in a way of their enthusiasm, I know that they're likely not the best guide for me. Whenever I'm talking about growth, personal development, mental health, whatever, Alan is always very enthusiastic. So my coach is always very enthusiastic when I'm sharing. I can see his passion on the other side of the camera. I can see his support in between our sessions. You can feel when someone is genuinely trying to see you win and to support you win versus just trying to be a coach just to say that they're a coach. We can feel the difference. And so don't ignore it. If you feel like someone is not being genuine, don't ignore that feeling. It is likely accurate. And the last thing, which I kind of already mentioned, is that they will challenge you with love. Somebody who is able to articulate hard truths to you with love, keep them in your corner. If somebody has evidence and experience in an area and is able to give you hard truths and advice of things that they wish that they would have done differently, they are good people to have around. But what often happens is we have family members and friends that have no experience in what it is that we're doing, and they're trying to give us all the opinions in the world. Oftentimes we will listen because we think that they are older or they are our family or friends, so they know best and they want what's best for us. The truth is, you guys, not everybody wants what's best for us or consciously even knows what's best for us. We only know what is best for our own unique selves, and we can communicate with other folks in our own areas of expertise. But the goal of today is really for you to recognize, are you being misguided by those that are around you? And do you need to be willing to look within instead to surround yourself with other people? This is a massively lonely journey. I will say that ever since I started my growth journey and evolving myself, the amount of people that I've had to funnel out of my life in a way is indescribable. But that's because I recognize that so many of those people that used to be in my corner were in my corner for all of the wrong reasons. And since I put my foot down and really recognized this and honed in on the people that do support me, it's just, I always want to give the disclaimer that growth can sometimes be lonely. In fact, most oftentimes it is, because we are really funneling out, I guess, those folks that we know aren't in alignment or best for our future. And so that can be lonely for a little while. But I want you to know that good mentors, good coaches, good friends, good people can come along, aligned people can come along. But we have to be willing to really recognize if the people that we're surrounding ourselves really are optimal and are best for the person that we're trying to become and trying to be. So the last thing I do just want to say is don't settle. Don't just settle for any friendship, any relationship, whatever. This is something that I have done time and time again, and I was let down time and time again. And so I'm at a point now where I'm like, no more. I am very stern on who I allow into my circle, because I refuse to just let anybody and everybody manipulate and take my beautiful energy. And I only allow those that want to see me win and vice versa into my circle. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode about not allowing the wrong people in your life to guide you. This is going to be a unique podcast. This might really resonate with some of you. This might be like a what the heck episode for some of you. Like, I don't have anybody guiding me. Like, I don't really understand. Know that that is okay. My goal, as always, is to help even one person. And that's why I do such a variety of different types of podcasts and subjects, because I want to share from my experiences and things that I'm feeling. And likely, if you're here, as always, you likely do want to grow and evolve in some way, shape, or form, or else you wouldn't be here. And so making sure we have those right people that are surrounding us and are in our corner to support us in getting there is really gonna just make it more optimal, more enjoyable for everybody involved. So thank you guys so much as always. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could rate this show, leave a review below, share it with someone you think would enjoy. I have been absolutely blown away and amazed at the amount of love and sharing and everything you guys have been doing in the last little while. So thank you guys so much. Know it means the world. I am on a mission to systemically change how we view mental health on a global aspect. So I can't do that without your guys' help. So any support is always more than appreciated. And I look forward to chatting with you all next week. Bye, you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode of Rewire to Inspire. I absolutely love connecting with you all, so make sure you're following me on Instagram. I am at Jessie Brown 13. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to leave a review or share with someone you think would enjoy. I look forward to chatting with you all next episode. And remember, get out of your head and into your heart.